by the way.
Oh my goodness! What is going on? Why?
Jake Paul is losing it after Mike Tyson dropped a shocking truth about his own wild side. The fight Jake's been begging for is finally happening, but now he's having full-blown tantrums trying to escape. Tyson's confession about turning into a beast in the ring has Jake shaking in his boots. From fake illnesses to desperate excuses, Jake's scrambling to dodge the showdown. Will Jake Paul really face the legend on November 15th, or is he about to back out last minute? Buckle up, because this could be the biggest meltdown in boxing history. Welcome to the channel, the place where Hollywood's wildest dramas and untold secrets come to life. Today, we're diving into the messy scandals, shocking confessions, and jaw-dropping meltdowns that have everyone talking. If you're ready for the most chaotic moments in celebrity history, you've come to the right place. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest twists in the world of fame and fortune. Buckle up. It's about to get scandalous. Before we get into the meltdown, let's take a step back and look at how we got here in the first place. Jake Paul's rise to fame wasn't exactly conventional. He started out as a Vine star, then transitioned to YouTube, where he built a massive following. His channel, filled with pranks, drama, and outlandish stunts, made him a household name among younger audiences. But it wasn't long before Jake set his sights on something bigger: boxing. In 2018, Jake Paul took part in his first amateur boxing match against fellow YouTuber Deji, winning by technical knockout. This sparked something in Jake, and he decided to go all in on a professional boxing career. He quickly lined up a series of fights against celebrities and former athletes, all the while building his image as a fearless, no-nonsense fighter. But here's the thing. While Jake's records boast some wins, his opponents have been far from the level of competition he's now facing. Fighting a retired NBA player, a former UFC fighter, or another influencer is one thing. Going up against Mike Tyson? That's a whole different ballgame. Jake Paul is no stranger to trash talk. In fact, he thrives on it. He's built his entire persona around being the loud, brash, and confident guy who's willing to take on anyone. And for years, one of his biggest targets has been Mike Tyson. Jake called Tyson out publicly multiple times, seemingly convinced that he could hold his own against the former heavyweight champion. At first, Tyson didn't take Jake seriously. Why would he? This is a man who's fought some of the most legendary names in boxing history. But as Jake's calls for a fight grew louder, Tyson eventually relented. He agreed to the fight. And just like that, Jake Paul got exactly what he'd been asking for. But now, with the fight just around the corner, it looks like Jake might be having second thoughts. Everything changed when Mike Tyson made a shocking confession on Logan Paul's podcast. During the interview, Tyson opened up about his struggles to control his emotions in the ring, revealing that he becomes a different person when he loses control. Tyson explained, "I'm scared of the person I become when I lose control. It's like I become someone else entirely. And I've hurt people when that happens." Let that sink in for a second. This is Mike Tyson, a man who has been feared in the boxing world for decades, admitting that even he is afraid of what he's capable of when he loses control. For Jake Paul, who has built his confidence on fighting lesser opponents, this revelation must have been absolutely terrifying. Hearing Tyson talk about his inner beast has shaken Jake to the core. The idea of stepping into the ring with a man who doesn't just fight to win, but fights to dominate, and sometimes lose control, is enough to make anyone nervous. And Jake? He's more than nervous. He's scared. Since Tyson's confession, Jake Paul has been spiraling. His usual confident, cocky demeanor has been replaced by a flurry of excuses, Instagram posts, and attempts to back out of the fight. It's almost like watching a car crash in slow motion. You can see the panic setting in, and it's only getting worse. Jake has pulled out all the stops to avoid this fight. Rumors are swirling that he's been faking illnesses, posting cryptic messages about not feeling well, and trying to drum up sympathy from his fans. He's even gone as far as to post motivational quotes about overcoming fear and adversity, a far cry from the trash talk and bravado we're used to seeing from him. It's clear that Jake is starting to realize what he's up against. Mike Tyson isn't just any boxer. He's a living legend, a man who's been through it all, and someone who has no problem unleashing his full power in the ring. Jake Paul, on the other hand, is starting to look like a guy who bit off way more than he can chew. This fight isn't just a match. It's a defining moment in Jake Paul's career. If he wins, it would be a huge boost to his reputation and could solidify him as a legitimate force in the boxing world. But let's be real, the odds of Jake winning are slim. Tyson may be older, but he's still an absolute powerhouse, and Jake knows it. If Jake loses, especially in a humiliating fashion, it could be the end of his boxing career. His brand is built on being the tough guy who doesn't back down, but a loss to Tyson, particularly if it's a quick knockout, would completely destroy that image. He could become the laughingstock of the internet, a meme for years to come. And let's not forget the financial stakes. This fight is poised to be one of the biggest boxing events of the year, with millions of dollars on the line. If Jake pulls out or loses badly, it could have serious financial consequences for him and his team. While Jake's been spiraling, Mike Tyson has been calm, collected, and focused. He's not out here making excuses or trying to hype himself up. He doesn't need to. Tyson has been training hard, preparing for the fight, and staying under the radar. What makes this so fascinating is the contrast between the two fighters. Jake Paul, the younger, brash upstart, is cracking under the pressure. Meanwhile, Tyson, the seasoned veteran, is completely unbothered. He's been through bigger fights, faced tougher opponents, and knows exactly what's at stake. Tyson has nothing to prove. He's already a legend. But for Jake, this fight is everything. And that's exactly why the pressure is getting to him. One of the biggest reasons Jake is panicking is because this fight is unlike anything he's ever faced before. In his previous matches, Jake fought people who were nowhere near Tyson's level. He took on retired athletes, celebrities, and former MMA fighters, all of whom were not in their prime, and none of whom had the kind of boxing pedigree Tyson has. Facing Tyson is a whole different ballgame. This isn't a gimmick fight, and it's not something Jake can talk his way out of. Tyson's legacy speaks for itself, and Jake knows he's stepping into the ring with a man who could seriously hurt him if he loses control. It's one thing to trash talk your way into a fight, but it's another thing entirely to back it up. And right now, Jake Paul is looking like a guy who might not be able to back up all that talk. As you can imagine, the internet is having an absolute field day with Jake Paul's meltdown. Fans, trolls, and commentators alike have been piling on, creating memes, cracking jokes, and predicting just how fast Tyson will knock him out. Twitter is buzzing with comments about how Jake is dodging Tyson like he dodges responsibility, and the memes are rolling in faster than ever. One of the most popular jokes making the rounds is predicting how long Jake will last in the ring, with most fans betting that it won't be long at all. And honestly, the internet's reaction is half the fun. This fight has turned into a full-blown spectacle, and fans are loving every second of it. Whether you're Team Jake or Team Tyson, there's no denying that the drama outside the ring is almost as entertaining as the fight itself. As the fight date approaches, the biggest question on everyone's mind is, will Jake Paul actually show up, or will he find a way to back out at the last minute? Right now, it's anyone's guess. Jake has been trying every excuse in the book, but with the contract signed and millions of dollars on the line, it's going to be hard for him to bail without serious consequences. If Jake does show up, it will be one of the most anticipated boxing matches of the year. Fans will finally get to see if all of Jake's talk was just hot air, or if he can actually hold his own against a legend like Tyson. But if he backs out, well, That might be even more embarrassing than losing. And that's the lowdown on Jake Paul's epic meltdown as he gears up for the fight of his life against Mike Tyson. Will Jake actually step into the ring? Or is he going to find a way to slip out of this one at the last minute? Either way, this fight is shaping up to be one of the most talked about events of the year, and you better believe we'll be here to cover every moment of it. What do you think? Is Jake really sick or just scared? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the drama. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.